What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are back with the top 8 from the Keyforge Sealed Vault Tour from Poland. Remember, there will be an Archon Vault Tour following on quite quickly afterwards. We have made it into the top 8. There are 8 players remaining, 2 that ended up winning all 6 of their games yesterday and qualifying directly for top 8. And then 6 people who, well, they had to go the long way round. They had to play a qualifying game today. Oh, and Bartos starts off straight away with an Amber Spine Mongrel. Great card. It means every time that Mark reaps, Bartos also gets an Amber. And it's got Hazardous Free. So although it's a Burn the Witch card, it's a card you have to go after. You're going to pay for doing so. Speaking of good cards, down comes a turn 1 Help from Future South. Gives you an Amber, lets you search for a Time Traveler, and then you play it down, grab an Amber, and draw 2 cards. It's very weird watching this after watching so much Pokemon, because in Pokemon there's loads of deck search, and in the early turns there's always a couple of minutes where a player is sitting there searching their deck to see what's in the prize cards. In Keyforge, everything's in your deck. You know exactly what's in your deck, so there's just no deck searching ever goes on. Flick through, find a Time Traveler, whack it down, crack on. Makes things a little bit more fluid, shall we say. But, I mean, this is good, right? When you do the whole Help from Future South into Time Traveler, you basically end up with 2 Amber and an extra 2 cards, and it just gives you such a huge boost. It's why double Time Traveler decks are so exciting. And it looks like we've got a memory chip coming down, which is to say, is that a memory chip or am I going crazy? I might be going crazy. Memory chip, every time you pick logos as your active house, you archive a card. Oh, and a Helper Bot, playing down a Gub and then a Hexpion as well. Helper Bot lets you play an out-of-house card during your turn. So, yeah, that's pretty gosh darn awesome, ladies and gentlemen. No, it is. Yes, it is a memory chip. I was right all along. After he chooses logos, you archive a card. And you have to. It's not a choice thing. So just poking Gub forward a little bit there. Gub gets +5 power when it's not on a flank. So just poking it forward there to show that it gets the extra power. That was a really strong turn 1. Getting down 4 creatures and an artifact while gaining 2 Amber. I mean, that's a very good turn 1. Nerve Blast takes out the Time Traveler. And we see a Yantzee Gang coming down. Oh, that'll be it. Okay. We do see sometimes in Keyforge some very quick turns. You start generally, unless you've got something like a Mother down to get more, you're generally starting with 6 cards. So the quest, sometimes you've got 2 cards from each house. So you're like, right, let's go. If you've got a big battle line, then turn and a lot of artifacts out. Turns become a little bit more in-depth, more stuff happens. But sometimes, especially in the early turns, it's play a card, done. So what's Mark got? He's got too much to protect. I mean, this is probably a good time to choose logos and archive Too Much to Protect. Honestly. Too Much to Protect is a phenomenal card at the right time. It steals all but 6 of your opponent's Amber. Now, I can't quite see what's in his hand there. I can only see the Too Much to Protect and he's got a couple of discards, though. But then again, he can still reap with a Helper Bot and reap with the Hexpion. I know he's not going to get much out of his hand by choosing logos, but for me, the opportunity to archive Too Much to Protect while reaping with Helper Bot and Hexpion and getting a couple of Amber, I mean, his opponent's not jumped out to a big lead. You're saving one of the best cards in your deck for the perfect time while gaining a couple of Amber. For me, that would probably be the choice. Now, he does seem to have, I cannot see exactly what's in his hand, but I know he's got a Poltergeist, and I know he's got an Onyx Knight. So he's discarding that. Now, down goes the Onyx Knight. Now, that destroys all creatures with an even power. Now, remember, Gub has 6 power because it's not on a flank. So that will save it. Shula comes down, doesn't steal an Amber. Then we reap with Gub to gain an Amber. Yeah, and that's not too bad. like I say, that the players always have access to more information than we do. Ooh! So Library of the Damned comes down, Shadow of Dis comes down. That basically makes all the creatures' boxes blank until next turn. Which means that, essentially, if Hexpion is destroyed, it doesn't archive itself and the top card of your deck. Shula's... Ooh! And it means that Gub is a 1-power creature again. That's very interesting. Gub, of course, is only a... Now, Gub doesn't get the plus... Yeah, now Gub, if I remember correctly... Yeah, now Gub doesn't get extra power counters. It gets plus 5 power when it's not on a flank. So taking away the text box takes away the 5 power. And Gub is sitting there as a 1-power creature right now. Has he got anything he can do to... Oh, he's got an unlocked gateway. So plays a turn, down goes unlocked gateway. It's all irrelevant. All the creatures go away. No, Hexpion does not get archived because of Shadow of Dis. Okay, that was almost a very silly thing. Because in reality, that's all it's really done so far. But it also stops any play abilities that Mark might have on any of his stuff. Okay. Yeah, so he's just showing a Shadow of Dis and going, look, Shadow of Dis takes away the text boxes until the end of my opponent's next turn. So when I destroy them with Unlocked Gateway, Hexpion no longer has that destroyed ability. Ergo, it's just destroyed. That's important. That is pretty important. Okay. So, where are we to? Both players just kind of looking at their hands at the moment. Oh, that was a good turn from Bartos. You know, he completely cleared the board. Now, neither player's gotten any keys so far. They got 2 amber each. Life for a Life will get an amber, but it won't do anything else. There's no creature to sacrifice. And even if there was, there's no creature to whom to deal damage. Oh, and then he plays Too Much to Protect for an amber. That is not how you want to use Too Much to Protect. It really isn't. I mean, it's fine. You still get the amber, but Too Much to Protect. You want to wait until your opponent's got like a ridiculous 11 amber turn, play it, steal 5, steal 1 more, boom, your opponent doesn't forge a key and you've gained a bunch of amber. Too Much to Protect is one of the very best cards in the game. Playing it for an amber bonus is fine. Now, we did also see a Lamindra coming down and then a Throwing Stars. I think it's a Throwing Stars. Yes. You deal 1 damage to up to 3 creatures. You gain 1 damage for each creature destroyed this way. So he basically played Lamindra, played the Throwing Stars to destroy the Lamindra, and then gained an amber for having done so. So Shula comes down. Mark has more than 4 amber, so Shula steals 1. Exhume comes down, gets an amber, lets him grab any creature from the discard and play it as if it were a disc creature. Had to be Amber Spine Mongrel. Ooh, and a fair game. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck and reveal their hand. You gain 1 amber for each card of the discarded card's house revealed this way. So he's just looking through the, he's basically going, look, okay, I need to have a good look at this. Now, he gains 2 amber. Okay, his opponent gets 1. That's all right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all right. I was worried for a moment there. Because, of course, if he'd have given his opponent 2 amber, that would actually put him on check and allow him to forge a key next turn. Which would be a very, very bad thing. A fair game. But then again, in that situation, you do not play a fair game if you've got 2 cards of 1 house in your hand. Unless you know there aren't any cards in the deck, because otherwise you risk giving your opponent a key at the beginning of their turn. You can't take that chance, frankly. You can't do it. Now it looks like... Oh, Brenda Fanatic was the one that got discarded, because with a fair game, it discards the top card of each player's deck. Brenda Fanatic was actually the one that got discarded, which is horrendous. because Bren the Fanatic, when you play it, you give your opponent an amber. When it's destroyed, you steal free. Brend is a card you want to play. So he is now going logos, is Mark. He archives a card, plays down Archimedes, plays down a Pip Pip, plays down a Neutron Shark, do. Now, Neutron Shark, we've seen a bunch of them on stream this weekend. It's the really hyper-disruptive one that discards... Okay, so it discards a friendly creature and an enemy or artifact, and an enemy creature or artifact. Then you discard the top card of your deck. If it's not logos, you do it all again. There's an argument for playing this down before you play Archimedes and Pip Pip, but he might have wanted to end up with them in the archive anyway, because that's essentially what's happening here. That's a very interesting play here. So he gets rid of Library of the Damned and gets rid of Neutron Shark. And then discards a non-logos card. And of course, Neutron Shark gets archived because it was next to Archimedes. Oh, which makes things very, very interesting. So, are we done with Neutron Shark? I think they're having a discussion. Are they having a discussion about whether Neutron Shark destroying itself ends the effect of Neutron Shark? It seems to have done so. We're going to need a ruling on that at some point. Either way, Mark has not put himself on check, but he has been very disruptive. He has built up a nice little archive. He's doing all right. So, Bartos here. I mean, Bartos has got himself a key. That's the most important thing. He has managed to forge himself his first key. Now, he gets himself a bonus amber there and archives a card. Gets a whistling darts. Takes out... Oh, sorry. Does 1 damage to Archimedes. Gets himself an amber. Looks like he's got a Lamindra coming down. And Ronnie risk locks to steal an amber. Oh, I thought he was going to keep going then. I mean, forging a key, making sure your opponent can't, and getting yourself halfway to forging the next key, all in one go, that's pretty sweet, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty gosh darn sweet. I like this. So... what can Mark counter? Because Mark doesn't have much of a board. He's got an Archimedes, he's got a memory chip. That's it. That's his entire board right now. He's got 4 amber, he's not forged a key. He needs quite a lot. He needs... I mean, Bartos doesn't have the most imposing battle line ever. What Mark really needs here is just to forge a key. Bartos isn't threatening a key next turn, so he's not in a huge hurry in that regard. Bartos doesn't have an amazing battle line, so that's not a huge hurry in that regard. He just needs to get some amber and start forging. Of course, if he ignores the battle line too much, Bartos might end up just getting multiple creatures out, all of shadows, and then just going reap every turn and winning the game in that way, which would be a very, very bad thing. So it's very hard to know what to do. You know, when you're in Mark's position, you're behind in the game and you don't have a battle line and your opponent does have a battle line. So you're building your battle line. Are you taking out your opponent's battle line? Are you building up Ember? Are you going after your opponent's Amber? It's really awkward. Now, he does get double Pip down. Does Forge of Archimedes to get an Amber. Oh. Neutron Shark do. And we've seen this game before. We've seen this game so many times. Mark is doing an excellent job of stopping his opponent having a battle line. But his opponent's forged a key and is halfway to another. Mark is not on check. Now, he might have some more Shadows cards. Some more Logos cards, and one of them might have a bonus Amber. But even then, Bartos only needs to get rid of 1. So Lemindra goes down and Pip Pip goes down, but it gets archived. It's next to Archimedes. Seismo Entangler gets discarded, so we are done. That is it. Neutron Shark is over. It's all very well and good having lots of logos creatures in your archive, but, you know, I mean, if you've got a Professor Sutterkin, right, when you draw one card for each friendly logos creature, doesn't have to be ready, then what you can do is just go absolutely nuts drawing cards with Professor Sutterkin. That's good. But here, he's building up a bit of a battle line, taking down his opponents, and Bartos is just kind of like smiling and going. So down comes a Nerve Blast to take out Archimedes and steal an Amber. So now they're even on Amber, but Bartos has an extra key. Ronnie Risklocks takes out Neutron Shark. Can Bartos get another couple of Amber from somewhere? No. Little Nif comes down, gives Shula the opportunity to steal, to steal, but that's it. So now, after all of Mark's Neutron Shark shenanigans, oh, that'd be a great name for a Keyforge team. Neutron Shark shenanigans. I might play with that. Yeah, we look at Mark's board. He's got one creature, one artifact, earns at 3 or 4 Amber. 4 Amber. We look at Bartos's board. He's got 3 creatures, 4 Amber, and a key. And even though Mark's been building up his battle line and taking out his opponent's battle line, he's actually not been able to stop his opponent forging a key. Now, he does get a Lash of Broken Dreams down, which is great, and he is able to play Not Finished with You, which gives him an Amber bonus, and is going to get back his Logos creatures. But I think at this stage it's fair to ask the question, how is this getting him closer to winning the game? I love Logos. They're my second favourite house after Mars. And he's getting his Time Traveller back, which is a phenomenal card. He's getting his Helper Bot back, which is a phenomenal card. Pip Pip is going to stop his opponent reaping, which is absolutely huge, although Little Nif will very much help with that. I love what he's doing with the Logos creatures, and I love his Logo suite here. But Mark does need to start getting some Amber or taking away some Amber. It is extremely likely that Bartos is going to end next turn on check for his second key. Now, Little Nif, after a neighbour of Little Nif is used to fight, you steal an Amber. So he's going to be able to use Shula to fight and take out Pip Pip, and then steal an Amber. Then Pip Pip is gone, which means Ronnie yeah, okay, they're of different houses. But then, you know, or potential... No, because it's not next to Ronnie Risklocks. But still, with Steel and Amber, okay, that's a bit better. Unlocked Gateway comes out, and now that's really good. Because as I said, Shula was going to be able to take out Pip Pip while stealing an Amber. And Mark has now cleared the board and finished on check. So in a much better position at the end of this turn than we've seen him for a little while. He is on check. He has cleared the board, and to be fair, he's got artifacts which his opponent doesn't. So he's now got the nominally superior board state, and is on check. Can Bartos get any Amber away from him? Does Bartos even want to? Because again, there's a strong argument here for Bartos to just go, you know what, forge a key. I'm going to forge my second key next turn. Gutted. That is an option. That's something he can do if he wishes. Okay. Okay, so the archive has... Oh, he's going to let him forge a key. Bumblebird comes down. There goes Full Moon. Grovekeeper comes down. That's a creature. Gain an Amber. And Song of Spring comes down, which is going to get Amberspine Mongrel back. Although into the deck, not into the hand. But again, that Amberspine Mongrel, it's not actually done anything yet. It keeps being taken down. But it's one of those creatures that you've got to try and take down, which is very, very nice. It hurts your opponent. It forces them into awkward situations. And that's kind of funny. So, where's Graham at? See, this is what's annoying, right? When your Archon starts with Graham... I'm going to call you Graham, even though your name's Bartos, and that annoys me because I want to get the names right. So, does he have any other creatures? Oh, he actually doesn't, it looks like. Persistent Hunting gains an Amber, but there are no creatures to exhaust. Okay. And he's letting his opponent forge a key, but like I said at the beginning of this turn, he is ending his turn with 7 amber. So okay, his opponent is going to be able to forge, but they're now even on keys and Bartos is about to forge next turn. Now, Mark can go dis and use Lash of Broken Dreams, put his opponent to 9 in order to forge. But again, is that getting him any closer to winning the game? Sooner or later, he's going to have to stop choosing dis, and then Bartos is going to be able to forge. Plus, Bartos has 2 creatures down, so he can potentially be doing reaping. Is that a phrase? It is now. Next turn with his untamed creatures, which makes a difference. Okay. Now, Mark's in a tricky situation here. He can guarantee that Bartos doesn't forge by going dis and using Lash of Broken Dreams. But I've got a couple decks with Lash of Broken Dreams in. And one of the things I've found is there are plenty of games where what you essentially do is you go, oh, I've stopped my opponent forging, but yeah. That is, not ideal. That's the problem we end up with here. Okay. Question is, can Mark do anything else other than the Lash of Broken Dreams? And if he can't do anything else other than the Lash of Broken Dreams, then okay. So he's getting himself... Oh, okay. Now we're doing a little bit better. Now we're gaining 4 amber. That's quite nice. And... yeah, so again, he's just playing cards to get the amber, but he's getting the amber. That's the important thing. He's getting the amber with cards, but he's getting the amber. And now he's in a little bit of a better position than he was before. Now that is furtive investments. When you play it, if your opponent has more amber than you, you gain 1 amber for each key your opponent has forged. Plus it has an amber bonus. So we got 2 for each of the ones. He got 2 for each of the ones he played there. Played another card of an amber bonus. Ended up with 5 amber at the end of it. And in a much, much better position. Played a hidden stash. Gives you an amber, lets you archive a card. Okay, so Nefru's going down there. Oh, Scullion goes down as well. Nefru means that if your creature gets destroyed and that is either player, you gain an amber. Scullion, you got to sacrifice a creature when you play it. So playing Nefru down and then playing Scullion to destroy a creature to immediately give you an amber, that is a very, very good thing that I am 100% in favor of. That is awesome. Now, he's got 2 amber, and at this stage, he is in a position to potentially amber rush. He is far enough ahead in the game. He knows his opponent plays too much to protect, but he also knows that his opponent's too much to protect is in his discard pile, not in his deck. Now, Mark is soon going to run out of deck, and his discard pile will become his deck, but it's not happening yet. Plays down a Yerk, has to lose a card from his hand. Pain Reaction. We had some fun with that one yesterday. And then draws to the end of his turn with 3 disc creatures out. And now Mark's in such an awkward position. Mark needs to get on check to forge a key next turn, but he needs to start taking down those disc creatures. Because Bartos needs 4 amber to forge a key, and there are 3 amber there that he is going to be able to go and get straight off the bat with his disc creatures. So you've kind of got to try and get rid of the disc creatures while also getting your amber. So he plays a time traveler, get an amber, draw a couple of cards. Oh, he's got that bloomin' neutron shark again. Okay. So the good news is he probably is going to be able to end this turn on check, having wrecked his opponent's board because of that silly neutron shark that just keeps coming out again and again and again. And to be fair, he's built up a big archive. So there goes the Archimedes. And this might have been Mark's game plan all along. Mark's been behind pretty much the entire game. But he's also done a really good job of building up an archive. And he's done that thing that you should always try and do when archiving. He has built up a logos archive. All of his archives have been, right, logos card, logos card, logos card, logos card. And he has been making sure that he can have a turn like this. Now, the decision at the moment, deadlock researcher goes down, he's just going to archive the top card of his deck. The decision I think he's trying to make here is, how many creatures do I play before Neutron Shark? Because I know when I play Neutron Shark, I might lose them all. Okay. Given he's played Hexpion and Pip, the answer is lots. He is on check. So the question is, how far can he go in this regard? How much is he going to wreck the board? Now he's got... Okay, so Time Traveler goes along with Nefru. Halperbot. So that's the end of Neutron Shark. Neutron Shark, remember, only keeps going if you flip over a non-logos card. And the thing is, Mark is now in a great position. He's not quite gone as far... Now, annoyingly, if he was ahead in the game, he could have left the Nefru and just let both players get a huge amount of amber. Can't do that, unfortunately, when you're behind in the game. But he is on check. And the thing is, he's got a huge board of logos creatures now. He's got an Archimedes, a ZYX Researcher, a Pip, a Hexpion, and a Neutron Shark. Next turn, he can just go reap, get himself 5 amber. He's built himself up a really nice board. The question is going to be whether it's actually too late in the day to have done so. Okay. So the deck has run out. Discard pile becomes a deck. Mark ends with 5 logos creatures sitting out there. I mean, if Bartos doesn't have a board wipe, Mark is in a very good position. The only real question is whether he's left it too late. Now, we also need to start wondering about what's in Bartos' hand. He lost a Nefru, but he didn't lose the others. So he can reap to get 2 amber with Dis. He needs 4 amber in total. Mark does play Shadows, and see, now Too Much to Protect is back in Mark's deck. All those Shadows cards, all the Amber control, they are back. So the question here is, how much Amber can Bartos get, and what can he try and do to hurt? Now, Glimmer comes down as an alpha card. Oh, I love this play. He gets Persistent Hunting back, gains an amber, choose a house, exhaust all enemy creatures of that house. He goes for logos, and now Mark is unable to go ahead and use any of those creatures next turn. They are all exhausted. They are all metaphorically off the table. Now he plays Soldiers to Flowers, gets himself an amber, purges the Bumblebird from his discard pile, gets himself another amber. He should have 5 amber. He started a turn with 2. He played... Oh, does Persistent Hunting give you an amber bonus? Let me double check. I thought it did. Yes, it does. So he should have 1 from the persistence hunting, 1 bonus amber from soldiers to flowers, and then 1 because he purged 1 untamed creature. Plus, he then reaps with Grovekeeper, ends a turn on 6 amber, and he's now on check for the game. Mark forges his second key. He's got a big battle line, but they're all exhausted. That might be the best use of persistence hunting I've seen. Especially having selected it off of a glimmer on what was one of the absolute key turns of the entire game. That was absolutely huge. That was phenomenally big. So just a great play there. Just a great play. Is there anything that Mark can do to stop him here? Are there any cards that Mark has got? We know he plays Shadows. We know he's got too much to protect. Now, he has gone and picked up his Archive, which does apparently include Brenda Fanatic. And bearing in mind, right, Mark's got Brenda Fanatic. When it's destroyed, you steal free amber. And he's got Neutron Shark, which can help destroy it. And he's got Life for a Life, which will help him destroy it. He's got some really good combos he can use with Brend here. But has he left it a little bit too late? I think the answer is he might have. I hope he hasn't. Because, you know, the more games go on, the more fun they are. Okay. So, there's another creature coming down here. Then it is a Brenda Fanatic. He needs to destroy it to steal free amber or he's going to lose the game. I have no idea what that card is. Looks like it was a Ronnie Wristclocks. Oh, now he plays Furtive Investments, gains himself 2 amber because Bartos has forged 2 keys and a bonus amber. Okay, the combination of Ronnie Wristclocks and Furtive Investments there was perfect. Oh, then Life for a Life comes down, gains an amber, destroys Brenda Fanatic to steal free amber, and after being behind for the entire game so far, this might be the turn that Mark needed to win. This is phenomenal. For a large part of the game, I was saying, what is Mark doing to get himself closer to winning the game? And the answer was archiving. Building up an archive. Because this is another one of those turns that was built on archive. And this victory for Mark, if he can complete it, will be built on archiving. Being able to bring out a Brenda Fanatic, Ronnie Wristclocks, and Life for a Life all in one turn, along with Furtive Investments, means he's taken his opponent down to 2 amber and put himself up to 10. Bartos looked to have the game sewn up. And last turn was a great turn. And as it stands at the moment, we look at Mark's field and we look at Bartos' field and we go, does he have like a too much to protect? Oh, he has got, is that Choda Hazri in his hand? Oh, it's not enough, ladies and gentlemen. It is not enough. Mark forges his 3rd key, goes into a victory, and that final turn was absolutely huge. Now, I believe... Come on, turn over the key. Turn over the key. Yeah. Congratulations to Mark. It was one of those games there where it's just so difficult to come back from. Mark was behind for a large part of that game. Bartos looked in absolute, complete control. And then Mark was just kind of like, oh, yeah, and by the way, boom, 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 boom. I mean, that last turn, seriously, that combination of Furtive Investments and then going for Ronnie Wristclocks, Brenda Fanatic, and Life for a Life. Phenomenal end to a great game. Congratulations to Mark, commiserations to Bartos. If you are on the YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, check out the Patreon. Look after yourselves till next time. Bye!